Hello there. So, you know what this thing is? This thing? Any idea what that is? In the olden days, we might say it kind of looked like a record player. But if you've ever opened up the inside of a computer, you know that that's a hard drive. You might not know what it does or how it works, but you might know that's what it is. And the hard drive is kind of the main storage device in a computer. So all of your computers have one. And what's interesting about this week is we're going to dive into the hardware part. So if you've never opened up a computer before, this is going to be a super interesting chapter for you. If you have an opportunity to go find a computer, like an old one, don't take apart like somebody you know. Don't say, hey, can I borrow your computer and then pull it apart. But if you have an old one laying around, just take the case off and see what's in there. In class, we would do a computer dissection project, which is really cool. We get a whole bunch of old machines and just pull them apart and see what all that stuff is. It's a little bit harder to do that online. But let me share with you some of the resources that are available this week. And I'll briefly touch on the Reliable Sources project because there'll be a video just for that on its own. So we're in week 6 now. We're partway through the week. This video will be placed right here. It's not here right now. But as always, please, please, please start on the checklist. And the checklist is what's going to have this incredible extra credit opportunity. So I'm going to open it up, let it load, and I'll come back to that. But I always start with the checklist. So for the Think videos this week, I'm thinking like hardware, how controversial, what could be interesting about computer hardware? Well, it's super interesting if you look into the chemistry that powers your smartphone. You probably didn't even think about that, huh? Because your phone is actually a computer. It's got a little hard drive, it's got all the parts. It's pretty powerful, and it's run on chemistry. So that's the first talk. The second talk has to do with this self-assembling computer chips. And just the sound of that is intriguing. So I think you'll find those very, very interesting things to think about. Coming down here to the Learn section, you'll notice there's a tile about distinguishing scholarly from non-scholarly sources. That one will come in handy for the Reliable Source project. So I'll talk about that more in that video. But the next couple of ones are actually, if you open it up, they actually have multiple videos. And so this first one has to do with what's inside your computer. And what's super, super, super cool, and I think it's on the second one, I'm pretty sure it's on the second one, where it talks about your computer trying to find, and I'm going to get this wrong a little bit, but your computer trying to find information on your hard drive is kind of like flying a 747 over a football field looking for a blade of grass. How does that all work? And this other video is about taking a little tour inside of your computer, all the bits and pieces that make it actually work. On this next one, what have boots and bits and bytes. So, you know, you push the on button and then what? Like all this stuff happens, but you don't see it. And your computer just turns on. So this video is going to uncover the mystery a little bit about what happens when you actually start your computer. And then, you know, you always hear like bits and bytes and, you know, how memory, about computer memory and all these different things. So this one has to do with how computer memory works. And there's different kinds of memory. It depends on what you're using it for. Just like humans have short-term and long-term memory, computers have that too. And then finally, can you tell, I like this, what's a megabyte and a megabit and a gigabyte and a gigabit? And I think she gets up into petaflops and teraflops and all kinds of weird things. Anyhow, if you ever wondered how all of that, what all that meant and how it all relates, that video will show you that. And none of those are particularly long. They're all interesting videos. Under the GCF Learn tutorial, there is actually a section. I need to make that link a little bigger, huh, to make it actually look like a link. There is a link to this computer basics tutorial in GCF Learn. It's part of a much longer thing. So sections 1 through 7 have to do with what's inside your computer and how that all works. So you might find that interesting as well. Now, when we come down here, we have a couple of different things. Well, we have a bunch of different things. Again, reliable sources, I'll get to that in its own video. The Zoom discussion signups are on Discord on the Zoom chat channel. We're going to do it like we did before. That seemed to work out pretty well. We have a Let's Tweet because it's every other week, and I'm asking you to do a couple of different things there. We've got the chapter 2 quiz, and so that links directly to the quiz. On the week 6 insights, you're going to send me personally on your notes channel a checking in, like how are things going? And then you're going to post your insight for the week onto the Zoom chat or onto the channel for that, just like we have done before. All right, have a good week. I'm going to go make the video on reliable sources, and then everything will be ready to go.